I know so many people that studied Tamil for 10 years. They still don't know how to read and write fully because they just learned for the exams, and the reason is not because they didn't learn properly. Yes, they didn't learn properly, but the reason is because they were not interested in it. Tamil was so hard for the people I know that study Tamil that they would rather not have it, and they are very, very enthusiastic about the Tamil language and speaking it and preserving it, but not really happy with the way the education system, the school education system, runs its Tamil program. It's the same with the Hindi program. I mean, tone it down a little bit, people. I mean, language education, even if it's hard, should be meaningful. And even if it's hard, people should be interested in it. Unfortunately, only 1% of the students that learn any language in India are actually interested in what they're learning. The reason is because of the way the education system is. You see, there are so many people that learn new languages. They are born in Tamil Nadu, they know Tamil and English. They learn Hindi also a little bit. So they know a little bit of Hindi. They go and work in Kerala, they learn Malayalam. They go and work in Karnataka, they learn Kannada. But they don't learn to read and write Malayalam and Kannada. They just speak it. Basically what that means is people are interested in speaking in different languages, right? Very interested. And speaking is the most common form of communication. In any language, take any language on earth, speaking is the most common form of communication, except for sign language. And yet somehow, in our education, you can memorize things, memorize concepts, and just go and write in the exam, and that's it. The only thing you are giving children knowledge of is writing skills, not even reading skills. And that's fascinating. To have learned a language for 10 years and not be able to read it properly. Wow. That's some education system, huh? Some education system. Here's the thing to you educators who set the syllabus, right? Shame on you. The simplest thing you could do, and here's the proposal: bring in reading, writing, listening, and speaking. Each component must have its own exam: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. And with these components, if you teach these 4 components, I ensure you, people will be more interested in the languages they're learning. People will be more competent in the languages they're learning. Their ability to learn a new language will be huge. Their ability to understand complex information in other unrelated subjects will be huge. Their neurological pathways will be amazing. They would have an actual skill. Have reading, writing, listening, and speaking in equal quantities or unequal quantities, I don't know. If we had an emphasis on this, during this pandemic time, we could have conducted online exams for both English and language, and we could have done it. For listening, right, it can be done through online. In fact, it has to be done through online. For speaking, for reading, again, online. For writing alone, you would have to conduct the normal exams that are conducted today. For all the other 3, you just need a lab. You need a lab. If you have a lab, you can actually do it. If you put 50% on reading, speaking, and listening, and then the next 50% on writing, that's it. This again brings me to how we are teaching our kids who learn physics and chemistry to learn for engineering, preparing them for engineering. You are preparing language students to do BA English, or BA French, or whatever, BA Tamil. You're preparing them for literature studies. I'm sorry, my friend, that's not how it should be. People that come from the school system should have a recognizable reading, writing, listening skill and speaking skill in the languages they're learning. Only if they're able to show evidence of these core competencies has the Indian education system done any good. Whether that's Indian or state, I don't care, but this is how it should be. It's just so unfortunate that you say this to anybody and they'll say it's difficult. Any teacher, any person in the education ministry of states, they'll tell you it's difficult. It's not. And then some people, for ideological reasons, will say no. Because, if you teach them these skills, they will become good in life. Yeah. There are those people. Or you can take a hike, because go to the mountains and don't come back for a week. Because this is absolute nonsense. To have no recognizable language skill after having learned a language for 12 to 14 years is such a shame. It's not necessarily a shame of the student studying. It's a shame of the syllabus that has been set. In fact, I don't even blame the teachers in this case. Teachers can only teach from what they've been given. It's such a terrible, terrible, terrible thing. I'm appalled, basically, by the way we learn languages in school.